Yo, it's Brian here. Today, gonna be talking about the San Francisco 49ers, as always, doing another top 3 video. This time talking about training camp yet again. I know, right? This is like my third video talking about this, but this is the biggest thing coming up for the Niners next week. Want to talk all about it as much as possible. And then when training camp actually happens, I'll talk about what happened during the day of the camp period, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, there's just my reasoning for having all these camp videos. Eventually I'll have preseason videos. By September, I'm going to have all regular season videos, and that's going to be the fun time for everyone in San Francisco. So going to be talking about that. For this video, it's going to be mentioning the 3 players that really need training camp. These are the players that are kind of on the roster bubble, I would say. They're kind of in danger of losing their roster spot for the 53-man roster. These players, they're going to need it definitely to prove themselves and hopefully get a roster spot for the Niners this year, because we're very loaded on depth and talent. In my opinion, this year they really need to show that they're worthy of a 53-man roster spot for this team. Going to be talking about that right now. Should be a fun time. Before I get the video started, please like and subscribe to support my channel. That would definitely help me out a lot. Click that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Share this channel, share this video with fellow Niner faithfuls. Yes, very, very close to 1.9K subscribers. Hopefully you guys help me get to that journey. And then by football season, ultimate goal, 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Let's get this video started. The top 3 players that need training camp to boost their roster standings. Number 3, offensive lineman Joshua Garnett. He really needs this whole training camp period. As we all know, San Francisco, they declined his 5th-year option, so he is going to be a free agent come next year. If he wants to stay with the Niners this year, come week 1, he really needs to show that he's worthy of that spot. He hasn't really done anything for the past couple of years for the Niners, whether it's just bad play or injuries, unfortunate timings, but still, a lot of players, a lot of guards in this whole 49er position. The starters right now are Langston Tomlinson and Mike Person, which I would probably be all right for right now. Hopefully their chemistry gets even better for this season. But Garnett, overall, he's just been phased out. I haven't heard anything from him, from anybody in the organization or just the coaching staff. I think his time might be up in San Francisco. If he really wants to make a last-minute final stand on making this whole roster, making his case to be on the 53-man team, he really needs to have a really good training camp period and preseason as well. Looking at it right now, he doesn't look like he's going to be in the depth chart, to be honest with you. It's just me, but he's been a disappointment as a first rounder. I thought he was going to do really well in San Francisco coming out of Stanford a couple of years ago, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. So far, I think he's going to be cut by the Niners come week 1 before the deadline for the 53-man roster. So yeah, Garnett, if he wants to make his last stand, his last chance of making this team for this year, he really needs to have a good camp. We'll see what happens, but I believe he will be cut by the 53-man roster deadline. Number 2, running back Jerick McKinnon. It's kind of weird to put him on this list just because of the fact I don't think he's going to get cut by the Niners. They want their dividends worth of that couple years. I think $45 million contract. Don't quote me on that, but it was a pretty big contract at that time a couple of years ago when he signed as a free agent, one of Lynch's first pickups during his tenure as general manager. But yeah, McKinnon, he has a lot going on for him in the running back position. He's coming off an ACL surgery in 2018 when he didn't even play at all for that whole season. That was disappointing. But yeah, he has 2 guys right in front of him. He has Coleman and Breida. From all accounts in San Francisco, I think Coleman's going to be the number 1 guy for that whole running back crew, although it's going to be a running back by committee. I think Coleman, if they want to look for the guy to go to, it has to be Coleman, just because Shanahan, he knows him really well. He knows what he's like. They had success a lot in Atlanta when they made the Super Bowl a couple years ago. It's kind of reasonable to have him, although Breida should make a case as well. He had a fantastic 2018 campaign, one of the fastest running backs in the NFL. So those 2 guys, they could be 1A and 1B in my opinion. Hopefully they don't favor one or the other, because I love these 2 guys and I think they deserve equal carries. So that pretty much puts McKinnon on the outside looking in part for the top running back spot for the 49ers, and that's why I put him on this list, just because of the fact if you're looking for the number 1 spot, I don't think he's going to get that spot, but if he wants it, he's going to have to perform really well in training camp and in the preseason to show that he's worth that money that they paid him. We'll see what he does in the 2019 season. Hopefully he doesn't have a significant injury like he did last year. Not looking really good for him so far, with Coleman and Breida being the top running backs, I think, for coming into just training camp period for the Niners. McKinnon, we'll see what happens, but if he wants to be the number 1 back for the committee spot, then he's going to have to do really well for training camp. The number one player that needs training camp for next week's period is wide receiver Richie James. I'm a big fan of him personally. He does a really good job in the return game. He could be a nice pass catcher as well, but for the most part, we all know him as a return man, and he had a nice touchdown against the Seattle Seahawks when they won their first matchup against them in the first time since 2013, so that was fantastic. But yeah, James, he has a lot of competition within this wide receiver spot. There's just not enough positions, not enough spots to fill up every single person that we have on this roster. We have an immense amount of talent. We have a lot of small dudes that could be a really big detriment to James making this roster. He's competing pretty much with Trent Taylor. Personally, for me, I would love to have James to be on this 49er roster, but I don't know. I don't know if San Francisco is completely sold on him. I think he's a better returner than Taylor, but it's looking like Taylor is the better wide receiver overall than James. Hopefully, he shows his pass catching ability during this whole training camp period. He builds a rapport with Garoppolo, and he could be on this team. As I said, I love this guy. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys love him as well. For me personally, just his size, we just have a lot of small dudes already, and the fact that we just can't keep all the wide receivers. They're probably going to have a lot of running backs for this whole roster, for this 53-man squad. It's just hard to see him be on this roster. I still have faith in him. If he wants to make his case, he's going to have to make his case during training camp and in the preseason and do something special. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. These are the three guys that I believe need to show their worth in training camp in order to have a 53-man roster spot come week 1. Please let me know which players need training camp the most for next week's period. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe to support my channel. That would definitely help me out a lot. I will be catching you guys up tomorrow on a Sunday. That's weird, but I was off, I think, on Tuesdays. I want to make it up by doing it on Sunday, then resume my schedule back on Tuesday the next couple of days. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great start to your weekend. Go Niners all day.